My name is David Paige. I'm a professor of planetary science in the Department of Earth, Planetary, and Space Sciences here at UCLA. I study the planets, including the moon. I've been doing this for something like 40 years. For the past 17 years, I've had an instrument that's been orbiting the moon every 2 hours, observing the moon and taking data. The Apollo missions, which were back in the 60s, mostly explored just the near side of the moon, just a few places. Our understanding of what's going on globally of the moon was sort of left undone. So with this orbiting mission, we've been able to map in great detail every nook and cranny in the moon and finding all the really interesting places where there's pits and caves, and especially at the high latitudes in the polar regions, there are places where literally the sun has not shone directly into these areas inside craters for billions of years. And we think there might be ices and other interesting materials trapped there by the cold. And that's one of the main goals of the Artemis mission, which is to explore these areas and maybe find and return these volatiles to Earth. By studying the moon, we get a great information about, for instance, how old the moon is and how it formed. The tides, for instance, are controlled by the moon. The period of the moon's orbit, of course, determines the month. So if we didn't have the moon, we wouldn't have months. The moon is a timekeeper, in a sense, for us. And in that respect, it's quite valuable just for, everyday life. But on a scientific standpoint, the moon is also a timekeeper, a sort of a time capsule for us, because it is a historical record, one that we can't get on Earth. On Earth, most of the early history of the solar system has been destroyed. The moon is relatively static, since it doesn't have an atmosphere and has been in a relatively stable orbit. The surface of the moon has not changed very much over its history, and therefore it's sort of recorded for us the history of the solar system and the part of the universe that the Earth lives in. Whereas on Earth, of course, everything is changing all the time. The floods, oceans, dinosaurs, all these things are changing the surface of the Earth, the geology, the plates, all this sort of things. All that early history has been erased. The moon has recorded all this, and we've learned that by bringing the samples back to Earth and studying them. We know they're ancient, so we can study a lot of things on the moon that we can't study on Earth, and this really fills out our understanding of where we live and where we came from.